evening again. This video is literally about Everton and the fact that they have lost yet again, and they are bottom of their group in Europe. They haven't won in the league for a while. Things aren't looking good. And there are calls for like Ronald Koeman to be sacked, and I've seen this on Twitter, in the media, um, and on YouTube as well, and other videos. So I've seen it in the social media and actually in the print and TV media that Ronald Koeman should go. But since Everton have been in the Premier League, since the Premier League came along, they've only had 7 managers, and each manager has had a minimum of 100 games to fulfill, like, get their ideology across, their tactics, what they expect their players. Thing is, Everton haven't won a trophy since '95, and they were quite a big team in the 80s. They were one of the big teams in the 80s. They haven't kicked on. They had a decent team in the mid 90s, and that where it stopped. They've got to one more final since then, 2008, but they've been in one final. They haven't kicked on. They've spent a fair bit of money this summer. How long has Ronald Koeman got? I mean, I feel sorry for the two managers that already lost their jobs this season, in Craig Shakespeare and Frank de Boer. I feel really sorry for them because they weren't given a chance in hell. But all is not well. They've lost 2-1 tonight, and I'm going to just check who they were playing. They're playing in Europe. Let's go on a trusty phone. BBC Sport. Load ya. Because if Ronald Koeman does leave, who replaces him? Lyon. They were playing Lyon. They lost to Lyon 2-1. That's all I was looking for. And they are bottom of their group. Atalanta are top. I think Apoel Nicosia, whoever it is, above them as well. They are actually rock bottom in their group. In Europa League. And they've got obviously Premier League matches coming up, and that kind of Premier League fixture list coming thick and fast. They've got a League Cup tie next week as well. So the fixture list doesn't get any easier for them. They're not the only side in history to go through a rough patch. When the season before they were quite decent. This goes across sports. There will be blip seasons. Like Chelsea, they win the Premier League, are abysmal the following year, and then win last year. Leicester win the Premier League, a bit like Chelsea, and now they have another blip season, but they're not playing badly. They just have a few injuries, and I feel they were too hasty in the chop there. So I think Koeman is on borrowed time, because when a statement's released like, we have every faith in the manager and we're backing him, it's normally a sign like, you've got a limited time to fix this or you're out. And so I think he's got 3 games to save his job. This weekend, the League Cup tie, next 2, and then going forward maybe the next game after the League Cup. So there's 2 league games and a cup tie to save his job basically. They didn't play bad tonight though. Apparently they played quite well, and there are good signs there. All the new players, Rooney was on the pitch, Sigurdsson. So the signings that Koeman himself has brought in the summer, they all had a role to play tonight. All his big name signings had a role to play tonight. So I think with the merry-go-round that is club and international management, too many people get sacked too quick. I've been saying this for quite some time. This is one of the reasons why I've gone off football, like watching it and getting invested in it. Like my club Blackburn, we've had, I'm going to have to look this up, but we've had Steve Keane as manager. Well, no, we've had Allardyce, Steve Keane, Henningberg. Oh, good grief, we must have had about 9 managers since the Venkies took over, and that's in less than 8 years. So, yeah, there you go. Mike Ashley, as I said, at Newcastle, had 10 managers. Chelsea have had 14. It includes caretaker managers and managers come back for a second spell with Mourinho and Gus Hiddink, but they've had 14 managerial appointments under Abramovich. Well, 14 separate people manage the club. Leicester have had 3 managers in 3 years. Man United have gone nothing through 5 and 7. So the only club consistently to keep the same manager year on year is Arsenal. And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to I have been again negative about Arsenal, but they have consistently been consistent, fifth or above. They've won 3 out of the last 4 FA Cups. Um, you 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 don't win trophies by constantly chopping managers unless you're Chelsea, because they're the only team that can do that. They can slice a manager's head off, put another win, and they win a trophy. Or they're competitive for trophies. But generally the Chelsea squad stayed pretty much the same. It's just the managers that keep changing. Other teams they change managers. And in January you're going to see in January panic buying in the January transfer window. So that's another thing you've got to look forward to. But I look at the Premier League and I look how many managers are still in their first couple of years of being at their clubs. I mean, Mark Hughes and Eddie Howe are 2 long-serving managers. The clubs are at Stoke and Bournemouth. I think Ronald Koeman is on very borrowed time. I mean, I feel sorry for him. I hope he doesn't get sacked. I really don't. I think you should allow people to turn it around. Give him a year. But as I said in the previous video that I did about Mike Ashley and the bids for Newcastle United, what a lot of these foreigners don't realise when they initially get in there, or the ramifications, is the relegation side of aspect, the promotion side aspect of English football. And same in cricket and rugby, we have the promotion relegation system, whereas in Australia, North America, and other countries outside of Europe, obviously European football is promotion relegation, but in North American market where there's a lot of interest, and in Australia, where again, they do what they call it soccer out there isn't promotion relegation. There is the Pro League, then there's the minor Pro League, then maybe 1 or 2 minor Pro Leagues, and then you have the amateur ranks or the youth ranks or the collegiate, and they don't have the relegation. They just have the team, whatever, tier, and you can't go between them. You're stuck. And so when they come over here and they buy a team or they invest, they then realise very quickly it's the relegation side of it. Now, over in the States and Canada, when it comes to pro sports, coaches normally stick around for 2, 3, 5, 6 years. There's a bit of longevity, basically. And they normally tie all their core players to long-term fixed contracts because of the salary cap. Over in Europe, we don't have that. In England, we don't have that. So that's another thing that Ronald Koeman's got a battle against. He's brought these new signings in. They're not performing as well as he would like. They're on big money for the club of their size, and they've lost in a cup, and they've lost again, and they haven't won for a while. So I think he's got 3 games to save his job. I'm going to leave that there. It's a pity they lost tonight. Apparently they play well. Please like and subscribe if you're going through, and place comments below. And I'm going to sign off the night. That's going to be me done. And I'll have another video for you soon. Ta-da.